Thank you so much. Be sure to follow us, of course, on Twitter at Fox 46 Carolinas for the latest information on Cannon's sentencing. And one of the big questions this morning is what exactly can we expect when court goes into session? So here to discuss, give us a little insight on that topic is Fox 46 legal analyst Matt Fleishman. He's an attorney with Rosensteel Fleishman PLLC here in Charlotte. So what can we expect?
Well, you're going to have a hearing this morning that's going to take place in front of Judge Whitney, and Judge Whitney is going to hear from both the federal prosecutor as well as from the defense. At first, the federal prosecutors will lay out their case. They'll lay out what the charges were, what cooperation, if any, that they're going to divulge at that point, and then you'll hear from the defense. And what the judge is going to decide at this point is, A, the sentence that he's going to serve, how many years, and then, of course, what the fine would be. Now, this hearing can take place in as little as 45 minutes, or it could take place over a couple days. It's all going to depend on the evidence.
Now, let's talk predictions, and I know you can't, tell the future, but if you had to guess, would you think it's going to be more like sometime today, or will it take several days?
No, I think you have 3 witnesses that are scheduled for the defense. You have a professional psychiatrist, and you have 3 character witnesses. My guess is it'll take place, it'll be finished today. That would be my guess. Again, I can't look into the future. But my guess is you'll have a sentence today.
Now, legally, he could be sentenced to as many as 20 years. You don't think that's going to happen?
No. I think that most likely you'll be in that range of the 4 to 5. If you twist my arm and ask me to predict, I would say he'd probably be above the 5 years.
Judge Frank Whitney's nicknames are The Hammer and Forever Frank, which certainly would point more to your recommendation of going a little bit higher than what people are predicting that they could be. What factors are going to play into his decision here?
So he's going to look at a bunch of different factors. The first, he's going to take a look at that pre-sentencing report. Now, we haven't discussed that. What that basically is that a probation officer writes an entire report based on the charges themselves and other legal factors, as well as extra legal factors, which would include mental history, physical health, gang affiliation, things that the judge looks at to see, is this gentleman a flight risk? Is he committing other crimes? If there is a belief that he is best served in a minimum facility prison, things like that. And then the judge listens to both the defense argue about that as well as the federal prosecutor, and then makes a decision at that point in terms of, again, sentence and potentially a recommendation on location of facility, which, to be frank, is extremely important in this case.
Yeah, talk about that, because certainly Cannon has places he would prefer, and the judge will make a recommendation about that, but that's not ultimately his call.
No, the Federal Bureau of Prisons will decide where he's actually incarcerated. And so the way you can think about this is you have maximum facility, security facilities, where you house gang members, murderers, mobsters, etc. But you also have white-collar criminals. And so society has decided that it doesn't make sense to have these white-collar criminals in maximum security facilities because it's expensive, okay? So if there are low flight risks, etc., you can put them in minimum security facilities. Butner is a famous one. It's close by. It's near Durham. Then you've got Morgantown, which has another very well-run facility. These are places that Cannon would obviously prefer to go, and you'll be hearing that most likely in today's hearing, where his attorneys will be suggesting those as facilities.
Well, we will be keeping you posted on that throughout the morning. We'll have live reports, as we said. Matt Fleishman, Fox 46 legal analyst, thank you for joining us.
Always a pleasure.
Eric.